David Coffey has been good enough to give me a gavel to start meetings and also to knock heads in case anybody's out of line. So I call the meeting to order on it at 6:31. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. It's not all that pleasant of a night, so I appreciate that everybody came out and joins us. We're going to open the meeting with a presentation from Ryan. Ryan Russell? You ready to go? As you'll recall, at the previous select board meeting, we discussed security at the town office, and Ryan is here to talk about that and what would be involved. So Ryan, why don't you take the floor and go ahead, come on up here and stand up here and address the audience, and we're anxious to hear what you have to say.
We are recording too.
Yeah. Okay.
How you doing tonight, everybody? Yeah, my name is Ryan Russell. I'm the local rep of ADT Security. And I was called out to the town office. You guys had some issues there, is my understanding. Some records were stolen. Was one of the main issues that had happened.
Well, to be precise, they're missing. So we're not sure that they're stolen or not, but they're missing.
Gotcha.
In any case.
Okay. Anyhow, so that, I guess that was what prompted the call, is my understanding. Met with Michael and Anna, and kind of went over some security options. One thing we talked about was an alarm system. Another thing was some internal cameras as well. Just to give you, I guess kind of an idea of what both are for. Alarm system obviously is to keep somebody out of there, or I should say, allow them to be there for as short a time as possible. First step, honestly, is just ADT stickers. People know the name. Hopefully they don't try it. Second of which, if they do try to go in there, the alarm sounds and it's ear-piercingly loud, so hopefully they'll run the other way. And then, unlike other companies, we're all timed. We call within about 30 seconds of that alarm going off to dispatch somebody out there to see what's going on and get whoever is there out of there. And then as far as the cameras go, that's obviously to figure out who did it. A little bit about ADT. We just a brief history. Been around since the late 1800s. We're the largest and longest lasting security company in the United States. We actually started off with those please call boxes. That was ADT. We manned them with actual security officers, and that's how we started off. Anyhow, we've been around for a long time. Unlike other companies, we have a separate service team, install team. So, with that being said, if anything arises, we send our service team out there. We try to do 75% next day to get everything fixed, up and running, what have you. Anyway, that's a little bit about ADT. I guess I'll specifically go over what we talked about for security at the location. I'm just looking at my notes here to try to remind you. It's been a few weeks now. So start off with the alarm system, I suppose. We had talked about contacting all the doors. It's basically a magnetic door contact. If somebody does pry the door open and break that contact, it'll sound the alarm. There's three doors at the town office. One right in the front facing the driveway, one in the back of the office, and one on the side of the building. So 3 door contacts. We were talking about a motion detector in the records room, just because it sounds like that would be an area of concern. I've done other places who do keep records. Any place from an insurance agency to collections agency, places like that. I can tell you, at least with those records, I don't know what you guys have on file, but the fine is actually $10,000 per record should that information get in the wrong hands. So you're talking physical records can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Again, I don't know what you guys keep for records, but that would be an area of concern of mine for sure. Motion detector in there. Motion detector in the back room where I guess the safe is. A motion detector for the main office area. Motion detectors, what they do is basically protect against every other point of entry other than just the door. So if they go through a window, if they pull some ninja stuff and try to go through the ceiling, they're going to get caught with the motion detector. It sounds silly, but actually a customer of mine tried to get in that way just a couple of days ago. through the ceiling. So, so that would be, that would really cover all your, your main office area, where I guess there's also records in there, your records room, the area in the back where some valuables are kept, and all your entry points. So as far as the laundry, and also you would get a keypad, obviously the siren, all the parts and pieces to make that system work, and we install it all for you. As far as the camera system goes, well, we talked about a few different things. I think what we narrowed it down to was a camera in the records room, just to kind of see what's going on there. A camera also in the safe room, and a camera covering the main office. The cameras are all high definition cameras, so sometimes you might see a gas station robbery on TV and it's really grainy. These are not those types of cameras. They're high definition. They're 720p quality. We do have a 1080p as well, but honestly, in the interior of a building, you don't need that high of a definition. But 720p is gonna be nice and clear. So kind of like if you take a picture on a smartphone or something like that, you can digitally zoom in and hopefully get a nice visual shot of somebody's face. Those honestly, some solutions, they don't make any sense, because if you can't tell who did it, then there's no sense in having cameras. And then you would also get a 4-channel storage device, and so what that means is it holds up to 4 cameras. Right now I just proposed 3, so you have room to put another one on there if you ever wanted to. I had originally thought maybe one outside, covering the parking lot, but something you could always add down in the future, if you ever wanted to. The 4-channel storage device has 2 terabytes of storage, with 3 cameras at 720p, recording 100% of the time. You're probably in about the 3-week range, maybe a month. We'll say 3 weeks to be safe. And then what happens is that, so it stores it in the storage device for 3 weeks. If you don't lock it in, if you don't save it, it will rewrite over itself. So you have about 3 weeks to figure out, if something was missing, somewhere in that time period. I mean, that's the gist of all the equipment, what it was for, where we'd be covering. Also, as far as our system goes, the alarm system, it's nice for a few different reasons. I think we had talked about our pulse system, and I'd be happy to show it to you as well. I don't know if you guys would like to see it. I also have a demonstration of the cameras as well. But the pulse alarm system is neat in the sense that you don't actually have to be on site to arm or disarm it. You can set automated schedules into the system as well. So if you have hours for the town office, you can actually have arm and disarm at that specific time. The nice thing about it as well is it actually tracks who comes and goes and when. So say, I'll just use a example of one of my other customers, which is a Five Guys Burgers. They have a lot of employees there, a lot of people with the code. I'm assuming here there's going to be multiple people with the code as well. This system tracks who comes and goes and when they use their code. So if somebody goes in the middle of the night, say, somebody named Bob that works at Five Guys goes in the middle of the night, it's going to say, Bob disarmed the system, it'll give you the exact time. So this system not only protects against people who don't have the code, but also people who do have the code, which is a little different than some other systems. If you guys have some changes, you can add and delete codes as well remotely, so you don't have to be on site to do that. Yeah, I mean that's that system in a nutshell. It does have some other features, but and then as far as the cameras go, they also have some pretty neat features. Like for instance, say there was a specific drawer that you noticed records were missing out of. It has a smart search feature, and what happens is you can pull up a grid. We'll just use this chair for an example. Say this chair was missing, we didn't know who took it and when. We noticed it a week later. We could pull up a grid and basically black out that area where the chair is. And what happens is it bookmarks events of motion in this area. So that way you don't have to look through a week's worth of footage. It'll show you all the motion events in where that chair is. So you might catch somebody sitting in it, getting up. Eventually you're going to see when the chair is missing, and you'll be able to pick that up. So I mean, that's another thing. Systems are only as good as people who are willing to look through the footage and catch it. If you don't notice for 3 weeks, and on other systems, if you have to look at 3 weeks worth of footage, you're probably going to be fast forwarding through it. You might fall asleep, and you might miss it. So that's another neat feature. And I mean, those are the systems in a nutshell. Before I go over, I guess first of all, would you guys like to see the alarm system or the cameras, or you guys have a good idea what type of quality they are?
What?
So I have a good idea.
Yeah, I've seen them installed too, so.
Okay,
I
perfect.
mean, they're small, inobtrusive cameras.
I have a question
Yeah.
as far as the cameras.
Sure.
Is there a light that is attached to them to when maybe the motion sensor goes off that
Yep.
it's going to illuminate the room somehow?
Sure. No, that's a
dark
great.
in the recording.
Right, no, that's a great question. The cameras do have motion detection. Depending on how long you want them to record for. The example I gave was it recording 100% of the time. It's probably about 3 weeks. But you might not want it to record when nobody's there, and so you can set them off of motion, and then it will only record on motion. And then instead of 3 weeks, you might get, you probably get a lot more. As far as the light goes, they have their day-night infrared cameras. They do have that capability. It's not really off of a motion. It's just when it turns nighttime, it does see in infrared. So yeah, they definitely do have the capability to see at night.
So Ally, I think
Right.
forgive me if you, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Forgive me if I'm misinterpreting you, but were you asking if the camera picks up motion, that it like floods the room with light?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't do that, no. There are LED style cameras. These are an infrared camera.
Okay.
So
The,
they don't really necessarily put off a lot of light, just a little bit. But these ones, yeah, they're infrared. They don't have the LEDs.
the concerns we have, or at least that I have, is one, that the town office is on a fairly busy highway, as you've seen.
Sure.
So, a lot of traffic going by, in the middle of the night. So, two, it's not so much that there are hugely valuable things inside the town office, but there's a lot of sensitive information. Now that's inside locked cabinets, but somebody handy with a crowbar could probably get in there.
Sure.
And personnel records, minutes of non-public sessions of the select board that oftentimes have very sensitive information in there. And it's just not something, those things that you want in unauthorized hands.
Right.
So that's what we really have in it.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a busy road. I mean, as far as so there's definitely a lot of foot traffic going on there, or I should say, a lot of people driving by there.
Right.
I was actually following somebody up from Massachusetts. That turned off on a different road, but yeah, no, I completely get that. You're right. Records are definitely one of the common things to try to secure. I mean, as far as cars driving by, you might not have been going there with it. That's what you just said, but I have been asked. They don't set off motion or anything like that.
Right.
So just want to throw that out there. The other thing with us is everything is fully warranted. So if anything does go wrong, we'll go out and fix or replace it at no charge. So if you do get false alarms, what we can do is you just let us know. We go out there, we can adjust some sensitivity settings on it. It wouldn't be because of traffic going by, but it might be from something else in the room.
Sure.
So.
Dust falling.
I've seen stranger things. I actually saw, like balloons or something. People forgot about them, but.
The infrared, will the infrared pick up well enough so that you can actually make out people and identify them?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as clear as a daytime picture,
No.
honestly, but yeah, it is pretty clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody takes a crowbar, goes round the back, right?
Mhm.
What's the delay time from the time they stop crowbarring that thing and the siren going off?
It's instantaneous.
Instantaneous.
Yeah.
How long is it before they calls dispatch?
They're timed, it's between 35 and 45 seconds.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, my point is, from a practical point of view, somebody might just try that. We don't have a police department. Dispatch would typically be Twin Mountain F Troop.
Right.
Right. So, and I do realize that most people would hear that siren and be gone in an instant, right?
Right.
But is there no way to incorporate a camera into this? A
No,
wide-angle camera that at least gives us something?
Actually, in that back door that you're talking about, in that room, there would be a camera. There would,
I'm sorry, I
Oh, it's
didn't
okay,
mean
go ahead.
but it wouldn't show you anything unless they actually gained access.
right, yeah. You need an exterior camera, you know, if you did want to do, you know, to see somebody on the outside.
And then the other question is, what is the force call cost?
You know, every area is different. Once you get up, you know, north of Plymouth, usually the police are pretty okay. Don't charge for them. If you're in Concord, Manchester, some of the cities, it's after 3 they do start charging. But that's when you would want to call, you know, right, the first time it happens, you want to give me a call and let me get somebody out there to see why there was a false alarm. So the safe answer is probably after 3, but, you know, honestly up here, they usually tend to be a little bit more lenient. So.
Andrew's question brought to mind. You said that when the alarm goes off and then dispatch is notified, is ADT notified at all?
It does. It actually goes to us directly.
Okay.
We're picking up the phone and calling in about 30 to 45
Okay.
seconds.
And where are you located?
Well, our main office is in Hollis. I actually live up in Pembroke, New Hampshire. I work from home. But the monitoring centers are located, there's 5 in the United States and 1 in Canada. So there's one in Texas, there's one in Boca Raton, Florida, one in New York. Forgetting where the other one is, but
So that's where the notification goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly
And then they make the call to
right.
dispatch to the local state police.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's illegal now to dispatch to make these go right to the police. That's one of the reasons why we pick it up. But yeah.
Back to your quick thing about the question of the crowbar and the siren going off.
Sure.
You said there was a camera in that back room, but that camera would only pick up somebody if in fact they opened the door, presumably.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
So in reality, we wouldn't know who it was unless there was an outside camera.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, more likely than not. But the thing is that if that door contact is broken, it's you know, at least probably a half an inch apart. So chances are, once they get it that far, you know, the door is probably going to swing open. But yeah, and a camera outside would be more likely to capture them for
And
sure.
there is you said there were 3 on whatever it was you were talking about, and there was one before.
Yep, there's 3 on the storage device. The storage device can handle up to 4. We have bigger storage devices as well. But yeah, that's a good question.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Other than notifying dispatch, do you have key holders as far as like the select board members? Do you call them, or is that left up to?
We definitely can, yeah. So there's an emergency call procedure usually set up ahead of time, or always set up ahead of time, but it can vary depending on how you guys want to do it. We can either call the police directly. Usually don't recommend that because false alarms do happen where somebody might go in for work in the morning and forget to disarm the system. And so generally speaking, we call the landline number or a landline number at the location first. How it works is you need to know the verbal password in order to call off the cavalry, so to speak. So you would say, you know, such and such, you know, I'm such and such, this is my verbal password, and then we would call off, knowing that it was a false alarm. And then we would either dispatch the police right after that. If you guys prefer, we can call somebody else on their cell phone. Just keep in mind, the more people we call, the longer, you know, that person could potentially be in the business.
Oh, we don't have cell phones.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Pretty
For
much
the first time when I met Michael and I got a little lost and I couldn't make a call.
And GPS don't work up there very good either.
No, that was why I got lost. Yeah. So.
Unless that is on the phone line, would be not a cell phone.
Right.
It would be a landline. Do you do something to protect the phone lines so that they can't be cut?
Usually it's a cellular backup unit, but that's unfortunately not an option for you guys. And that's why I didn't suggest it, because I needed to, you know, I wasn't able to get any service there. The only thing you can really do is put it in conduit or something like that. But
It would still, the cameras would still be rolling even if they cut the phone line, so at least we'd have the,
right, yeah, absolutely. But that is how the alarm system would communicate to us is through the phone line. So wouldn't be a bad idea to put it in some conduit, make it a little bit more difficult for people to access it. Not everybody's that smart, but the ones that are is the ones you want to watch out for.
Are there other small towns that have their town offices protected with ADT in our area?
I'm sure there are. Off the top of my head, I don't know any. I'm sure I could probably find out.
Anything else?
We do all the federal buildings. We do many government facilities.
Right.
So I just off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure.
Artie?
As far as the cameras, and you're saying being monitored by the 5 different areas?
We monitor the alarm system. We don't monitor the cameras. The cameras honestly are an after the fact thing. But that's kind of why they're why they go hand in hand, because the alarm is for making sure people aren't in there, they don't have time to take a bunch of records, making sure we get the police out there. Hopefully they don't even try it, like I said, a deterrent. And then the camera, or just to figure out, the cameras are to figure out who did it.
So can the cameras be monitored from another location? So if the selectmen want them at their house to be able to, if the alarm goes off, then I'm going to look at the camera.
Absolutely. You'd actually, you can do it on any internet-ready device, whether it's a iPad or cell phone or a full download for a computer. You just basically pull up your app. Oh, you know what? It's not. I don't have any service. As long as you have service, it will. But it would pop up on here, and you can look at the live footage. You can look at the recorded footage. So yeah, absolutely. As many people that want to have access to it. So you obviously need passwords and stuff like that.
I would think that would be, access to that would be pretty restricted, just like the.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But like, she said, I
One of
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
All three.
password to be able to get into
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if that alarm goes off and somebody calls and says that it went off, you can hop on the cameras pretty easily. And I mean, that it really is that fast. You hit the thing, you hop on the camera, and then you can see the live view. So.
We're out here in the rural woods. Wildlife
Okay.
can set things off. We have bears.
That's not just up here; it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I don't know how they do it, but somehow the mice are everywhere all the time. So yeah, I mean, so the motion detectors, they go off infrared mass. What that means is if something gets close enough to it, we find it all the time. We have to be careful what I should say in homes, because if you put a motion detector near a shelf and a cat jumps up on that shelf, it can set it off. They're rated for 65 pounds, but if something goes close enough to it, it can think it's 65 pounds. But I think all the ceilings were hard ceilings there, so you don't really have to, we just have to make sure it wasn't mounted, any of the motion detectors weren't mounted too close to shelving, or maybe a mouse might get on it or something like that. But that is a false alarm concern for sure.
Like up in the corners.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So.
I'm sorry, Artie, did you have a question?
Sorry, wait till the other beginning. Is there a panic alarm? Panic button?
So I think we took out the panic button, was my understanding. What the alarm does have, though, is a built-in duress code. It's a little different than a panic button, but similar in the same aspect. So a panic button is generally mounted somewhere. We have wireless ones that you can wear actually on a lanyard strap or a watch strap. If you push that, feel threatened or what have you, it's a silent alert panic button. So it goes to us, it's a priority call. We're supposed to pick those ones up in about 15 seconds rather than 30 to 45. And it doesn't set off that loud alarm, that way they don't know you hit it. Likewise, if you take that wireless device and say they kidnap the person, if they get too far away from the building, it also starts off the silent panic button as well. So we do have those. The dress code basically is if, like, say, you're in your car or maybe leaving at the end of the night, somebody comes up and holds you up with a gun and says, hey, I know you have an alarm system there, I see the ADT sticker, go disarm the system. You go up to the code, you press your address code, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it might be, and you hit disarm. The system will disarm. It will also set up the silent alarm, which is exact same process as the panic button. So that's built in. You can add panic buttons to it if you ever wanted to, though.
Okay, is there a smoke alarm?
We don't do commercial smoke or fire.
Okay.
The reason being is because it can get kind of tricky, just because when those smoke detectors in residents are really not commercial rated. You're really supposed to have sprinkler systems and all sorts of stuff for commercial.
Okay.
So.
The cameras, are they hidden?
They're not hidden. No, they're probably about 3.5 inches in diameter. They have a little round vandal dome on them. So they're pretty indiscreet. It's not like those bullet style cameras that are kind of longer, but they're probably about 3.5 inches diameter. You could probably hold it in your hand pretty easily. But we don't do anything with hidden cameras necessarily. It's a good question.
But
They do make them.
We're back to 45 minutes for F-Troop dispatch up to a mountain. And if somebody knows that and they jimmy it and the siren goes off, they've got a good chance of getting what they want before anybody actually turns up. Unless one of our select board members is going to suddenly leap out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you guys know that better than me, honestly. I've traveled to Vermont and sold in there, and it's the same type of scenario where, and actually I go all the way up to Canada still, but it's the same type of scenario in a lot of the areas. However, it's better than them being there all night, is all I can really say. But
No, I wondered if there was a solution to it somewhere.
I don't know. Do you have state troopers that?
What did you say?
One of us run down with a gun.
Well, that's what I said. Unless the select board wants to run down there, it might be a long wait before the cops get there.
We would never recommend that, but that's, I guess an option. But,
Yeah.
I'll check to make sure there's a false sign.
Artie, did you?
How many cameras?
there was 3 total. I know I can go over it again.
No, that's okay, though.
Sure.
3's good. And each door's got a,
Each door has a door contact. There was 3 motion detectors total as well. One in the office, one in the back where the back door is, and there's a safe back there, and one in the records room.
oh, that's plenty.
Yeah.
And the siren is outside?
It's an interior siren.
Interior.
You'll be able to hear it outside though. We do have exterior sirens as well. It's just, I guess a matter of which you guys.
Can you choose the sound for the siren, or is it determined sound?
No, it is determined. That would be kind of cool. You set it up as like a pop song or something. It is. It's just a really loud, ear-piercing sound that you really never want to hear.
Make it sound like a pit bull.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Are you going to put together a proposal for us?
I have.
Oh,
It's on your folder.
Okay, all right.
So, and also, I just want to go over that if I could too.
Sure.
How we operate. We're a large company. We actually generally install our systems at a loss. So compared to other companies, believe it or not, we're a lot less expensive on an upfront cost. The other nice thing about us is there's no hidden costs. If anything ever breaks, including the cameras, the storage device, anything, and we fix or replace it at no charge. So there's no government surcharges or taxes on top of the pricing. So the monthly fee includes that warranty. It includes us, monitoring the alarm system. It includes unlimited tech support for the cameras. Includes all the remote viewing platforms, that unlimited download their apps. And the pulse system, the remote control system as well. So
Is the storage unit mounted or anchored?
we can really, usually we put it on a shelf somewhere. They do make lock boxes for them. It's something I can include if you guys would like. So that's really another thing. It's kind of a a matter of preference, I guess.
So the cameras are recording just to the storage box, they're not going out anywhere else, it's just to that storage box, right?
Exactly.
So I would want that secured, so they could come in, take that, and then you don't have anything anyways.
Yep, that is a valid concern, for sure.
I want to make sure I'm reading this right. So the total installation price you have here is $1571.
Sorry, let me.
Oh, with
So the pricing that I gave you guys is our standard pricing. I can basically take $250 off each solution, so it's actually a total of $500 off that price.
off of 1571. Okay.
So it'd be 1,071. I didn't put that in there only because if I do, it gets sent over to my boss for approval and kind of starts this whole process. And if it don't sell it, it starts asking me why. So, but that's what I can do on it. So it's 1,071. Then I believe the monthly is 101 and some change.
101.65. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions from anybody? Artie?
One of the main purposes of the alarm is when the girls are there alone, or a girl is there alone. So I think the panic button should be included in the alarm. Because that was originally one of the principal purposes of the alarm.
Right.
So the panic buttons we can easily add under $100 for a panic button.
And that's just a flat
Flat fee.
fee. Okay. I think that's probably a good idea.
Like I said, you have two choices. Maybe I did. You have two choices. One that is wireless. You can wear around. It comes with a lanyard or a watch strap. It's pretty indiscreet. Where you can mount them to desks. I think what we were talking about though was the wireless one, because then the girls could switch between whoever is there rather than it being mounted to one desk.
We also, our accountant sometimes works in the town office fairly late at night alone.
Right.
And so I think it would, something that she would have access to.
Right.
Would be great.
And I know I kind of mentioned it, but just make sure that they don't leave with it because it doesn't set off the alarm. So.
I suppose that happens once.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, well, if nobody else has any other questions, Ryan, I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. All my contact information should be
Okay.
on that proposal. My cell phone number's on there.
Okay.
If you guys, anybody has any questions, happy to answer them. Feel free to give me a call. So,
Okay.
great.
All right.
It was nice to
Thank
meet
you
you.
very much, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right.
It was interesting, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
There's a few of us in town who use you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. All right. Thanks
Do
a
you
lot.
have it at your house?
Yeah, there's a few of us that have ATP.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Watch out for the moon.
Okay. Drive slow.
Do we want to make a decision about this tonight, or?
Honestly, I think you guys should have time to actually go over it.
Yeah,
Anytime to work.
I'd like to
So
go.
we're taking a discuss it at the next meeting.
Okay, I think so too, with the goal toward making a decision
Yes.
one way or the
Yes.
other at the next meeting. My instant gut reaction though is that I think this would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I already think
It's
it's a
only
way that.
$100 more, so
Right.
we're talking 1171.
Okay. Angie, did you have a?
No, I was just gonna say, I didn't suggest it, but did you think about an outside camera?
I'll think about it when I'm
Yeah,
going through
that's-
this, yeah.
So just,
No. I'm glad you brought it up because actually, because we're in such a rural location, I mean, we do have some kind of special circumstances involved. I was thinking about the alarm, for example. I mean, there's a house across the street, but it's up a little ways. There's nobody right next door that would necessarily hear the alarm. I mean, I know that the alarm, it's meant to scare off somebody, but
right, but if they get in and there's,
yeah.
they can be done with their whatever, with
Yeah.
the hoodie on and whatnot. Or they can just jimmy it and then when the siren goes off. And there could be somebody, and I don't want to say this as though this applies to Dorchester, but there are people that are just malicious.
You're right.
And should that happen, I would really want to have them on candid camera.
You're right. If somebody wanted to break in and get into the sensitive records though,
That would.
they would have to know what they're looking for and they would have to spend a little time.
I'm just thinking somebody might want to try and jimmy the door, knowing there was a new security system.
Oh, and
Knowing
just
that
to have
they-
fun?
To aggravate.
Yeah.
Do you have, motion censored floodlights outside?
That's it, you know, I was thinking about that when he was talking.
We don't have it.
We don't have anything like that. In fact, I don't think the parking lot's illuminated at all.
No.
But there is a light that goes to the parking lot that physically has to be turned on and set by a timer. So like,
Okay.
if I was to put it on, it would go off whatever time I set it for
But
afterwards.
$200 for an engineering fee and $35 a month, you can have the electrical company put one in
Oh, yeah?
that comes on at dusk and goes off at dawn.
Yeah.
I know, I have one. Paid for it.
You could go to Home Depot and buy one yourself.
Well, these are more reliable, and I mean, there's no extra charge after you pay the $35 because it runs off the pole power and not off the house.
Well, if we lose power.
I'm just passing on information.
Okay. All right, no, that's a good idea. Okay, moving on. Review of the minutes. We only have the minutes from September 22nd. Anna sent them to us. I make a motion that we accept the minutes of September 22nd.
Second.
All right, do we have any discussion? Any corrections to the minutes?
Not that I noticed.
Okay.
I didn't notice anything.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes of September 22nd?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Great. All right, reviewing the manifest. We've had a chance to look at the manifest. Anna sent that out. I move that we accept the manifest of October 20th. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, now, any discussion about any of these charges? The town of Rumney, this is for the transfer station?
And fire.
And fire.
There's
Okay.
two contracts.
That's what, okay,
Yeah, she told me.
all right. And, there was one, yeah, sand gravel, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Rick St. Amand, I didn't know.
That's the glass.
Oh, okay.
In the truck floor.
Okay, all right, the windshield?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm glad we got that fixed. That's an expensive windshield, man.
Yes.
It was not good. Okay, any other discussion about the manifest? No? All right. All in favor of accepting the manifest of October 20th?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks. Artie? Yep.
Who's the call we get signed? It's right here.
I believe. Okay, let's see this. Oh, thanks. Okay, great. Thanks, Artie.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, highway. Larry, would you like to talk a little bit about highway and then we'll get to you, Mike, too, about what you've been doing there?
Okay, all the trucks are back now and inspected and repaired. The sand pile is all complete, we're working on getting it covered now.
Okay.
We believe we have plastic, so it's just a matter of top advertising, top of the whole down. Getting the plow, starting the plows and stuff ready. He's going to work this next week. He's going to work on getting one of the trucks ready. So if we have an early icing, any ice early or snow, there'll be a truck ready to go.
Oh, fantastic. Does he need some help with getting the tarp onto the sand house?
Yes, he does.
I was gonna say, that's not an easy job.
Yeah.
All right,
Now, I'm not sure, my father may be able to help him a couple of days with some things. I'm not sure of that.
okay. I'll check with Paul and see if he has a date picked out when he wants to do the tarp, and then maybe we can kind of put out a notice on the Facebook page or the website or something, and get maybe a crew together, because that would be a real chore, even with just two people.
Yeah, even two of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to be available to help.
Okay, yeah, me too. So Larry Walker Senior's last day was Friday the 15th.
Yeah.
And I was sorry to see him go. He did a bang-up job.
Yes, he did.
In the interim.
It was a big help.
Yeah, he was a huge help. The road grader.
The road grader, they've finally gotten to it, and they're tearing it apart to figure out what it needs. This coming week, once they have it all torn down, so if they have a list of what it needs and what needs to be done, they will call me and let me know so that we'll have an estimate of what it will cost.
Okay, that's probably going to be serious.
Hard to say at this point, because the lines are crimped off, so we're not sure if it was just leaky wheel cylinders or if the brakes are completely gone. It's just a guessing game, because until it's tore apart, you can't see it and figure out what's wrong with everything's enclosed.
All right. Okay, well, we'll just kind of wait with fingers crossed and hope it's not something too urgent. Okay, anything else?
I'll let Mike continue with the
Okay.
he's been doing that, and then I'll do the roadies and highway.
Okay, all right, great.
Section afterwards.
Okay, Mike, you've been, what's been going on?
I have the task to get some quotes that have to work on the highway. I gave them a deadline for 2 o'clock today, and I have all 3 bids.
This is the section of the highway
Yes,
shed.
bracing.
Yeah, the bracing for the highway shed and the big garage section.
Yes.
Right.
Also just redoing the stairs, putting up safety rails, putting up either safety rails or a half wall up top to keep people from falling over. The cheapest bid we got was $2,000. The most expensive was $3,900 and something. Yeah. So then we have the in-between with John Franz and
Mark,
yeah.
yeah.
John Franz's section would have been doing the staircase, the guardrails, or safety rails, and that quote was a little over $500. And the other guy, we're looking between $25,000 and $3,000. So my recommendation is going to be to go with the guy that bid it to.
Is there anything that is not included in that bid for 2,000 that?
That's
is
strictly
included?
the labor.
Oh, it's strictly because we have materials.
We have the materials. We just may have to buy a couple things.
Okay.
So, and they're all 3 people said they're looking at 3 days to do it.
Okay.
So,
$2,000 is pretty decent, I think.
and not only one of the reasons I would like to go with this one here
Okay.
is the guy is ex-military, and it's the way that Dorchester can give back to a military person.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion then to?
I make a motion to accept this bid for $2,000 to have work done to the highway.
And the name of the person?
Scott Holton,
And he's located where?
I think in Plymouth.
Okay. All right, I'll second it. Do we have any discussion about it?
Is it a contract?
It's not a contract, as I told them all, whoever got the bid, we would get in touch, or I would get in touch with them, we could do up the contract,
Because we have to do the contract, and we have to send the
Right.
contract to the insurance
and
company.
the person
Yeah.
would be willing to be here the same night too, so.
Okay. We would need to run the contract by the insurance company.
Right.
And we would also need to find out if they have their own insurance.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he
All
does.
right. I think we would need a copy of the certificate of insurance.
I can contact him if this is the guy that we choose,
Okay. All right.
and he will go ahead and forward that over.
Okay, that would be great. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay. All in favor of Mike's motion to go with Scott Horton of Plymouth to do the Horton to do the construction work on the highway shed as described? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm glad that we'll get that done. That reminds me of something else, Larry. We had talked about the bid to do the culverts.
Yes.
And do we have a formal bid for that? And
Yes, we do.
I think we should make a decision on that because.
Yes, we need to do it now, or
Yeah.
it's gonna freeze and we're gonna.
That's right, cold weather's coming, so that's as I remember, that was 11,000.
You know, just under 12,000, yeah. Yeah, for all 5 culverts. And also, he's going to cut the tar and the 3 asphalt, the asphalt.
Okay,
It's all complete.
right.
So there's no hidden cost in it.
Right.
And these are 5 culverts, there's one on Hearst House, one on Street of
One on
Woods.
Kurt's House, one on Street of Woods Road, and 3 on River Road.
River Road. And all those culverts are collapsing.
Collapsing and washing away and undermining, so they definitely should be done.
Well, and I think that we
They
can't,
will be longer too, they will be longer than the ones that are in now, because the ones that are in now on the river road are too short, and that's part of the problem. You can't reinforce them, you have to
Right.
keep it from washing.
and I also, we can't wait for the warm weather to return in the spring because spring runoff is gonna.
We'll have problems this winter if we don't fix it.
That's right. I
Now,
think so too.
any of the culverts that we can save, they can be used elsewhere, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. That's great. Would he be able to use any of the culverts that we already have?
that's using our culverts, using the pile of gravel that we have,
Okay,
and the stone that we have.
okay. All right. Same thing, contract that we would run by Primex and
Yeah.
certificate of insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I make a motion then that we accept this bid and get that culvert work done before.
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No?
I think this is a good time to do it. We've been saving a little money at Highway, so and this is something I think really necessary to keep those roads in passable condition.
Right.
Save you.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Excellent.
Steve, who is it that you gave the work to?
Conkey Construction.
Conti.
All right. Thanks so much. Update on the road agent hiring committee.
Okay, we are finally in the phase of setting up interviews with people.
Okay, great.
We have a meeting coming up this Monday night where we'll be reviewing if any more applicants have come in and basically finalizing and getting down to interviewing them and getting closer to recommending people and so forth.
Okay, great.
So what time frame are we looking at to hire someone? Another month or?
I'm hoping under a month. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
I know we've said that we've wanted to have a road agent in place before the snow arrives, and actually it'd be great to have the road agent in place a month before the snow arrives, so he or she can familiarize themselves with the equipment we've got. And
Yeah.
And also,
At least we have Paul. Paul has a CDL, so
Yeah.
he's plowed snow for us. He has the ability to do it. So
okay,
if something comes up before then,
okay,
at least
all right.
we're not left.
And I don't think we need to make a decision about this tonight, but since you're closing in on, you know, within a month of making a road agent's recommendation, we should probably talk about whether, you know, how and when we want to have the highway yard cleaned up, and what we want to do with that. Whether we feel any urgency with that or not. I mean, your dad and Paul
They've
did
actually cleaned
a lot.
Mr. Walker and Mr. Smith have done a lot of cleaning, and a lot of things are organized now.
Yeah,
So if somebody does come in late, I think a lot of it can wait until next spring when it's mud season and they can't work.
all right. Yes, any public input regarding highways?
I just want to ask you again, I've brought this up several times, now when you go for new road agent, you are gonna do a background check?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that was Chairperson Cox's prime
Yeah.
cause.
It'll be thoroughly checked out.
Thank you.
Thanks, that's a good question. Artie?
You're gonna post when the interviews are, right? So public can sit in.
The interviews of the people and
Yeah. Because you're having a meeting, you're interviewing people, and that's open to the public.
I believe so, yeah.
Sure.
Larry, when you interview applicants for the road agent's job, do you tell them that the former road agent who the select board fired is suing the town to get his job back?
Will we be telling them that?
Do you tell them? Don't you think that's something that they should know?
Why?
Well, the board hasn't received anything from any attorneys regarding a lawsuit.
They reinstate him once.
I know it's been threatened, but I haven't seen any paperwork regarding a lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think that we should tell an interviewee a hypothetical. So,
All right. Well, I had heard that from a few people that the town had been sued by the former road
I
agent.
think the town should sue him.
I haven't heard it, I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard anything from any attorneys, not ours or anybody else's. So, did anybody?
No, you would have been served.
I mean, right?
You would have been served.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think so, so.
we get deserved, as of yet.
Yes, sure.
On the culvert jobs, does the select board have a procedure for putting bids out?
Yeah, yes, I contacted people to come and look, and only one actually came and showed up and looked at them.
I mean, do you have a written policy procedure for bids to go out for town jobs? Do you post it? I mean, can anybody bid on these jobs, or
Yes.
are
Yeah.
just the people who, well, how are they to know? that
We
the
basically
jobs are
created
done?
a list in case we need to have things done, and I contacted them people to get bids.
So it's just people that you know are the only ones who got an opportunity to.
At the moment, because of trying to get it done before winter, yes. Ordinarily, I myself would like to take and actually put it for bids in the paper if we had time.
So you're telling me then that the only people who get the opportunity to bid on these jobs that the town is offering is people who the select board know? Family or friends or?
No,
You
not
don't
necessarily
put these bids out
family or
to the
friends.
public? You don't put these bids out to the public?
We haven't on this one though because of trying to get it done before winter.
Which isn't very long.
Right.
It's gonna snow this weekend. Not here. It's not. Melting, but
I would think that Larry's long experience in the mechanical business would put him in contact with a lot of people who do road and highway work, as as well as his father's experience in highway. So it's not just a matter of family and friends, Sharon.
His father isn't family?
He didn't bid on doing the culverts.
Did you have anyone in mind? Any suggestions to them?
No, I'm just asking if they have a policy for giving town jobs up to
Oh.
bid.
Anything else?
No.
Okay,
I would like to state something on the record.
sure.
The bids that I got, I know none of them.
Did you post notice so anybody could bid?
I took recommendations from lumber places around here. Terry French.
So in other words, you're the one who decided who was going to get the opportunity to bid on this job.
I went after 3 jobs, Sherman. 3 bids.
Who collected the bids?
They
Were they sealed bids or?
They wasn't stated to be a sealed bid, no.
No, they weren't sealed bids, so it's just hearsay, what you tell the selectmen, so-and-so bid this much.
They had the copies of the emails. I don't hide anything. I don't sweep nothing under a rug.
Yes, Angie.
What was the previous policy?
Well, Sherman was the chairman of the previous select board.
That's what
Maybe
I'm
he could
asking.
tell us.
What did the previous board, at least for the time when you were on it, what was your policy? I'm not trying to be argumentative, I'm trying to see whether that should be something they're adopting.
Did you hear what he said?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard what you said.
She's talking.
So you have no response?
Well, the select board isn't required to put jobs out to bid. So a lot of the times we didn't put jobs out to bid. But when we did, it was a sealed bid. And we would open the bid, the administrative assistant would open the bids at a public meeting in front of everybody.
It was, the bid that I got was in a sealed envelope, and I opened it at the last meeting, and we discussed it, and Chairman Berkeley said to wait until this meeting to go ahead with it.
Well, okay. You know, if that's the way that you want to do it, you don't have to put things out to bid if you don't want to.
Well,
No, I would prefer it.
If you do put it out to bid, you should do a sealed bid.
Right.
Do it properly.
well, maybe if the previous select board had let us know about the procedure that was used when things were put out to bid, that would have been helpful. But the previous select board didn't.
Well, emails are able to be tracked and traced, and that's, you're able to track and trace emails.
Who was
I don't understand the purpose of a seal. What's, the purpose of having it sealed?
A sealed bid is when no one knows what someone bids until
Nobody knows
it's
what anybody else's bid is.
And then they
you
can
know?
underbid or overbid.
So Mike could be taking a bid from somebody and you could say, well, so-and-so's doing it for this amount, you're gonna have to.
Sherman, you should know me better than that.
I didn't do that. I did
Right, it's
exist
just,
in
you
an
know,
envelope,
don't
and I
be
opened it
so
up.
defensive, it's
Yep.
checks and balances, nobody's
Yeah.
accusing you of anything.
Well, and
No.
nobody was being secretive about this, you know? So, hard.
No one's in New Hampshire is required, no one's required to bid, it's in the law. They do have guidelines through the state, especially with public works projects. When we were doing the grants, because we were dealing with so much money,
Right,
we went out to bid.
certainly. And probably a sealed bid and public
Yeah.
notice and all that.
Because we wanted the best price.
Right,
And it was pretty, and then you could choose from the first 3, or unless there were conditions that they didn't meet or something like that. What you were doing, what I heard through the meetings, is no different than what anybody else did. It's smart to go out and get 3 prices, because you're just being responsible. You are not required to. But you answer to the public So therefore, you go get 3 bids to get your best price.
Right,
Now,
yeah.
a rule of thumb that I can only speak to 2 select boards ago is we didn't use residents. Because we had a guy that used to be a selectman that tried to hone in on our own work, and he didn't do that well. So we decided, let's take the residents out, we'll have no conflict, and that's how we ended up with Randy Latour. So, I don't know, I don't believe you're doing anything contrary to what anybody else does, but I will say your big ticket items, either go sole source, or have written contracts presented to you with their insurance, certificates of insurance ahead of time. That
Okay,
would be our big ticket items.
yeah.
But the 11 grand and 2 grand, yeah,
Well, certainly, something like, let's say hypothetically, repaving Streeter Woods Road.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. Actually, any blacktoping you should go out for. And if you get any storm damage,
right.
you put it out to get the best price.
Yep.
That's only you guys being prudent, because if you don't do that, you leave yourself open for unnecessary scrutiny.
Well, I think in these 2 cases, the
3 prices is fine.
yeah, the prudence is, and I wish we had gotten more bids on the culvert work, but,
The only thing I would suggest to you is that if you had 3 bids,
yeah,
you read about who they're from, how much they're for, and then talk about it in public, and then say, we're gonna go with this guy. That's usually, it's not a secret who turns in a bid. That's usually a public, that's part of the public can sit in on all that stuff. But if you have somebody that you wanted and you think they do good work, you can just go do that. Not a good idea, but you could go do that.
My idea is that if you get prices from people and you know you're getting prices, they're going to be more competitive and you're more apt to get more work for less money because you get people competing against each other instead of just going to one person and then if they know they're the only one, you can be charged right out of sight. That's my theory of thinking.
Now, don't take this critical,
Yeah.
because we're talking about it, and you
Yeah.
guys go find the cold work for 11, 12 grand. That could have gone in the paper, and I bet you these other big construction companies would have come in and whipped that out. Because we used to use Andrews Construction for everything.
I had a hard time getting people because it's so late in the year and everybody's trying to finish up jobs that they already have. So that's why a lot of them couldn't get back to me, and
Sometimes you're better off just throwing it in the paper and let it fly.
I agree.
If nobody answers, then so be it, then you gotta hustle.
Yeah.
Angie?
No.
Okay.
My comment is redundant. You'll be glad to hear.
All right, thank you. Anything else about the highway at all? Okay. Moving down the agenda, we don't have any new business at the moment, and to be signed.
Yeah, I did not put that in the,
Okay. All right. So, okay, nothing to be signed. All right. Under old business, moving the Emergency Operations Center from the town office to the town hall. We need to organize that and
Right.
didn't have that happen.
But I do want to include cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do, if you would like me to, is go ahead and get the appointment set up and email Cookie and give her a phone call and tell her what date. Because you know what's going on.
Okay, I think that's a good suggestion. I'm wondering though if Cookie would want to discuss this in a public meeting.
She was asked to be here tonight, but
No, I understand. She was here at the last meeting and several times I asked if there were any comments and she didn't say anything, so. Since this is not a weather-dependent situation, Yeah,
Next meeting.
yeah, maybe, I'll formally invite her to come to the next meeting so we can discuss it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll table it.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
With moving it, I know she had asked for the key.
Right,
Is that going to happen?
to the town hall,
Correct.
we hadn't gotten to that stage of the thing, but, or the discussion. But, I think that can be part of the discussion at the next meeting. Okay. There we are. I wish Darlene was here. I wanted a couple of details. She made this proposal about a new printer for the town office, and I think it's a good proposal. But I was hoping she'd be here to talk about it and describe it a little bit more to folks. And since
Do
she's,
you have more of a question, because she's talking about it.
okay.
I don't know if you really want me to answer it.
Just can you describe exactly what's involved and what it is
It
she's
would
asking
be
you
a office printer for
Right.
all of us to use.
for? It's single printer.
Right, it's a single copier printer, and then it would eliminate from all the ink and toner,
Right.
because all of ours are different.
Right.
Is it wireless?
I know I don't believe it's wireless.
Are you, no, I think it is wireless
The one that
because
she gave you was wireless?
that's a good question.
That way,
I
you don't
believe
just be anywhere near and transmit to it. from
almost any
computers.
printer these days is wireless. I mean, we can
Mine
confirm
is,
that or,
My Canada is.
yeah.
Well, actually, I would assume that we probably have to be Wi-Fi compatible for all of us to use it.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So
But
that's,
it would be that initial cost to purchase the printer itself, and then it would be the annual cost for the service maintenance, but they
right.
also provide the ink and the toner.
right. Yes,
And then it's what, a $288
The $288 annual, I believe it is,
$288.
yeah, annually, and then it's like $2,000 down,
Yeah,
the initial fee.
right. And the 288 includes ink and toner?
For the service contract, and if anything goes wrong with it, they come and fix it,
Oh.
from what she stated.
Does that include any paper?
No.
I'll order it all.
The paper I will still have to order.
All right, and as I understand it, there's still a separate printer though for state documents. And that-
Yeah, because that's a state-owned computer,
Right.
which
Okay,
they need for their, registrations
right,
and stuff.
okay. All right, do you guys want to table this, or would you like to make a decision about this tonight?
Myself, make a decision on it.
Okay, I think so too. Larry?
Make a decision on it?
Okay. All right, I'll move then that we go through with Darlene's recommendation. This is a Sharp MX 266N high-performance printer that will network the computers in the town office and will significantly reduce our crazy toner costs. And the cost of this is $2,812. That's the purchase price. And then the service contract is, I believe, $288 a month.
288,
$288 a month, or a month? A year. I'm sorry.
I
A
meant
year.
annually.
Yeah.
You said month, you messed up.
Okay, a year, and that includes toner.
That includes ink and toner according to her. I did not read it myself. so
Okay.
didn't
All
have
right.
to have that info, so.
Okay, do we have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's great. He's really done a great job updating computer stuff. And, yeah,
The Darlene's old computer,
right.
we can wipe that and let highway have that, correct?
Yeah, we probably could. I mean, the town owns it, right? Yeah,
Send one of those out.
that's a good idea. Yeah, we could do that.
And
Is-
there's a monitor in the front room.
Is there any wireless capacity at the highway?
There's internet.
Internet.
There's internet at highway? Okay, all right,
Yeah,
thanks.
and according to,
Okay.
Paul just stated to me that their there's no computer there.
Right,
We
right.
are still paying for internet because it's under contract, we can't cancel it right now.
Well, it would be great if the road agent had access to it, and people could reach him. All right, okay. Excellent.
I believe the guy that Darlene had out installing her new computer,
Yeah.
so it cost around $180 to wipe that one totally clean.
Okay.
We're
The
going
old one.
Yeah, just redo it,
Okay,
so,
and,
no one will have access to any of Darlene's information.
okay. All right. Well, that would be absolutely
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah.
Okay, all right, let's confirm that cost then with Darlene.
Okay.
Okay. And make sure that we can get that done. Because, and there would be virtually no installation process, just moving the thing.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
road agent can do it.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
hire one.
All right, we will have a mapping update from CAI, but that'll be at the next meeting when Tim Fountain from CAI will come and address the public and talk about what's going on with the mapping project. Okay? That concludes the formal public agenda for the select board. Any comments from the public? Input? Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Kathy Quinn.
Hi, Kathy.
We were listening to the meeting last week. I have property on Province Road,
Mm-hmm.
and you received a letter from a
Yes, from land vets.
Robert
Bradbury.
Bradbury,
Right.
and it had with regards to locking our gate.
Right.
We have the bottom of our driveway on Province Road.
Right.
And I just wanted to address that. My daughter spoke to the gentleman on Monday to let him know that our gate is not locked,
Okay.
but after all the fire that we had across the way, it was suggested to us that we shut the gate. We
Okay.
don't lock it. It is chained, and we have a Caribbean lock, Caribbean clip.
Carabiner? Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
The
So,
gate has.
I just wanted to address that, to let you know. I don't know why he sent you a letter, since it's on my property, but so we came up tonight just to let you know
Okay.
that my daughter has talked to him.
I appreciate you doing that. I
It's
appreciate
right.
you coming here tonight to let us know that you've had this conversation. And he was fine in the conversation that you had with him?
Yeah, he understood the concerns
Okay.
with regards to and why there has to be a chain because
Okay.
of the damage, the significant amount of damage that our poor gate has sustained over the years,
Okay.
including just recently, to a few weeks ago, somebody actually came in and stole the chain that was bolted to the gate. Yep.
What, they used wire, they bolt cutters?
They had some sort of a hatchet and they were whacking at the bolts on the gate until they finally gave way and they got the chain off. But the chain, as it wraps around the pole and it comes over, again, it was just a little clip that just open the clip and go through.
Well, I will follow up with the gentleman that sent the letter and
And
just
that's
see if he
fine.
has any further questions or anything like that. And tell him that we had this discussion tonight.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's.
And I do, also know that what prompted him to write the letter to you was that gentleman that we caught on camera
Mm-hmm.
stealing the chain and damaging our gate is in fact the one who called him because he is a registered New Hampshire guide from the town of Groton, who apparently in prior years has gotten permission to go up there.
For hunting or something?
For hunting,
Yeah.
yes.
Guide tours, hunting tours.
Why he felt that our chain was, needed to be. But Mr. Bradbury himself understood with the fires and the safety issues.
Okay.
So it's not in fact locked, but it is shut,
Okay.
but not locked, in
Well,
that aspect.
Well, it sounds like that should address his concern. I mean,
It is,
he was
yeah.
just concerned about access, and if the gate's not locked,
I understand, yep.
then.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's accessible for, fire wardens and anybody else that
Okay.
needs to be able to
Okay,
go
right.
through.
All right, thank you for letting us know.
I just have one more thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I need to be put on the agenda, or I would like to request to be put on the agenda.
Sure.
My property is at 256 Province Road,
Mhm.
and for some reason, for the last 12 years, we've had 2 tax bills.
Oh, okay.
My land runs from the Groton-Dorchester line, down Province Road, across the river, and down the road. I don't know why they would take the property and split it. I do have a driveway that goes from Province Road to our camps in the back, but again, if that's private property.
Does your deed identify 2 parcels or a single parcel?
It is one single parcel.
One parcel.
I don't know why you would get 2 tax bills.
Is any of it in Groton?
Excuse me?
Is any of your property, in Groton?
No, it's all in Dorchester. It runs along the line.
The
Okay.
line narrow.
So, I guess I need to make get on the agenda to have this changed so that I'm back to 1 tax bill.
Yes, we can put you on the agenda for next meeting, November 3rd?
I'll be here.
Okay.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Steve, could I
Yeah,
ask a
all right.
question? Is that Kimball Road you're talking about?
There
The
is
gate?
no Kimball
And it
Road.
was called Kimball.
Okay, so is it our understanding then that that's a private road?
It is a private road. My family put that road into, so that we could get from Province Road to the back property.
So is it old logging road?
There is one going up the hill, but it's
The
still.
Kimball Hill Road that you are referring to is in fact over the Dorchester line. It's in fact in the town of Groton, is what you're thinking of. It goes all the way up and over the hill and over into Orange and Alexandria. That is in fact Kimball Hill Road. But that too is also a private road. In 1933, the town of Groton voted to discontinue that road, and it was discontinued by a vote of the town in March of 1933.
And my only question was on our maps. Your acreage off of Province Road, which says Kimball Road.
It was just mistakenly labeled as such, because what happened was when the lumber company, the Yorkshire Timber Company, bought the property in Groton, instead of using the old woods road, logging road that goes out and around, they needed a quicker access to get out.
Right.
So they had asked if they could cut the trees and connect basically the 2 private properties. And then somehow over the years, the maps have, because the 2 were connected,
Okay.
their private property and where our driveway is, They just moved
Emergency
along.
management wise, when they did 911, emergency management wise, when they did 911, that's why they called it Kimball Road. But it was, and just firmness of that, we always considered it a private road, that it has nothing to do, it's not a town road, it's private property.
Right, because I should still have 1 tax bill. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, no, that's another
But
issue.
it is.
It's yours.
Yes,
Kimball Road used to be a town road.
in Groton.
In Dorchester.
No,
Because there's a warrant article in Dorchester to discontinue Kimball Road, probably in the 1860s. It was discontinued that long ago. There's an old warrant article.
Okay.
So
You
bottom
can
line,
see it on Nella Ashley's road map,
Mhm.
down at the office. You'll see, and that's why they get the 2 tax maps, is because on the town's tax maps, it calls that Kimball Road going through. Now, when the new tax maps are updated, maybe that's going to alleviate that problem. They might take Kimball Road right off of there, and then it'll be back to being only 1 property again. They should take it off because it was discontinued, over 100 years ago.
166 years ago, so yes, I was thinking it wasn't deleted.
Well, we have a select board here that had a philosophy that all old roads were town roads unless proven otherwise.
Which is what we have been told for many many, many years is that we have to come and prove
right.
that Kimball
Right,
Hill
right.
did not exist, and I have yet to find any documents in Dorchester. Found a ton of them in Groton, but I have yet to find any documents in the town of Dorchester.
Actually, I can appreciate your situation because I've got an old town road crossing one of my properties. So, and I had to look up to see that it was discontinued by town vote in the 1880s, I think it was. So.
Which,
Recently, then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
which reverts
Okay,
it
yes, Artie.
back.
When they're redoing the tax maps, and if they have their deed, then it should come out one piece of property.
Okay.
So that should alleviate their issue. And Shirley did the research to find out that Kimball Road was discontinued. So it's a private road, because when we used to have debates here with some of the residents, that it's a 6 or 5. Our position was it's a private road, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So that's what's left. And your tax people will fix the tax back, and everybody will be happy.
Well, maybe there's a simple solution to this thing, Mrs. King,
Well, I'll be here on November 3rd.
so. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
That we get someone to get all of our, articles put together in one book.
Yes, you were looking for a specific article the other day that,
I found it. Thanks to Darlene.
yeah, it does seem,
I mean, you're gonna have to go all the way back from the very first one. There's article after article.
it does seem inefficient to have to go, what, do you have to go through the minutes of every town meeting? Or
Pretty much.
pretty much?
Pretty much in books.
Pretty much in books.
Yeah.
And it would be so much easier for the public and us just to grab this one big thick book and right through it. And then it can be put on the website for you guys.
Yes.
I'm only I think it's a good suggestion, I'm only hesitating because I can imagine that that's a big project.
It's a huge project.
Let's consider it. I think it's a good idea. Any other comments? Anything else? Sherman?
Your budget to actual?
I don't have it decided. Checked the the Google Docs this afternoon was my last opportunity to do so, and it hadn't been updated.
It wasn't there, huh?
No.
Well, I looked at your last one, from the
Yeah.
last name, there's a mistake in it.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
There is, because you said at the meeting that you had 15% of the year left and 24% of your budget left, so you were doing good. There's a mistake there in the amount of days left in the year. She had 55 days left in the year from October 6th, which actually, the pay period actually ends on Sunday. So only 2 days gone out of October, so you have 29 days in October, 30 days in November, 31 days in
Okay.
December. That's 90 days
Right.
left in the year, not 55 like she said.
Right.
So that makes a big difference
Yeah, it
in
does.
the percentages for you, so you should
All
tell
right.
Beth about that,
All right.
or check your new one and see what it says.
No, okay. Thanks for noticing that.
Uh,
I appreciate that. I mean, I confess, I take her word for it, and, why wouldn't I? But I appreciate you.
Yeah, well,
looking at the details.
the week before that, you were a little bit over budget. And then in 1 week, all of a sudden, you went to, significantly under budget. You don't go that far in just 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, I'll check with Beth and get it updated and corrected.
Huh.
Okay. Anything else?
There's a bridge committee meeting on
Yes.
Wednesday.
On Wednesday, October 26th.
And Vince might be interested in that, too.
That's right.
What's that?
Well,
Bridge committee
Bridge
meeting.
committee meeting next Wednesday.
The one on Collinsville?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be.
Okay.
We're meeting next Wednesday.
Okay.
6:30 PM here.
A bridge, it's a feasibility committee
Okay.
to study the feasibility of putting a bridge in there.
Okay.
Yes, Artie?
Real quick again, just remind Larry, you're gonna post when you're doing the interviews and the time schedule. I'm gonna refer you back to when the administrative secretary was hired and the committee did the interviews one day. That was a posted, and we posted it, even though it was a committee meeting, it was open to the public so they could hear what was going on.
Okay.
It's just good policy. And who submitted applications is not a secret. That's also available to the public also.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, don't forget, this is a public official we're talking about. This isn't
Yeah.
a town employee, it's a public official,
Yeah,
so it should all be public.
okay.
Nobody may show up, but
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, anything else? Thanks so much for coming out tonight. We've got a non-public session to go into. Again, I appreciate everybody coming in and all the information that you provided. Yes.
Is there any information whether the